Oh my God. Hi, everybody. Welcome back for True Crime Tuesdays. I won't. It's so nice to see all of you lovely people in here. We're on time, we're on schedule. It's Tuesday, so you know what we're doing. Hi, everyone. So we need to finish the Turpin family. That's kind of where we left off last time. Sage said, wow, I haven't been this early in a while. Nice. You know, I haven't streamed this early in a while, so this is really cool too. We got some first time chatters. Jiggly Bits, thank you so much for the subby. You guys are all so great. Thank you for being here. Smoke those Turpins. You guys, that case just really it's so insane to me that this day and age, stuff like that can still happen. But I guess with how families get exposed for abuse is through school. And once you take your kids out of school and homeschool them, even though they weren't actually getting any education, they just lied and said they're being homeschooled, you really just cut them off from the rest of the world. So it really is so sad. Dark ages people, yeah. Oh, the music was still playing. There we go. Ugly Goon, thank you for the subby. Happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I felt like the stream ended so abruptly last time. What? We were streaming for a while though. When we did a full case. We did the Edmund Kemper case, and then we went on to Turpin, which wasn't planned. We just kind of fell into it. And then we stumbled upon the full documentary. So now we're going to watch the other half of it. Wait, you found other videos? I thought we couldn't find more videos. No, yes, Crystal Bell. So somebody sent the link to the full one, the full ABC documentary. So apparently we only got through half of it. Aw, Lena, oh my God, the last 2 weeks have been hell. Chat and streams have been a lifesaver. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I mean, not about everything being hell, but just that this could be a place of comfort, because you guys do that for me too. So thank you guys so much. I've been seriously super busy with work, but I love my job so much, so it's so cool. I can never complain. So I guess I'm super lucky to have that. But this is such a relaxing time for me, so thank you guys. Jessica, first time chatter, welcome. I know the feeling. I've been super busy too. You're glowing. Thank you so much. I've been getting a lot of comments lately about asking for a skincare routine, and I'll just reply soon to one of them. I just want to say it's Accutane, I guess, because I used to get really bad hormonal acne, and I haven't broken out since in forever. So it's been so amazing, and it's my last month, and I'm so excited because it literally dries up my face so much, especially my lips and my nose, and it's just it's so embarrassing. So I'm so glad to finally be done with that and have nice luscious lips. Relaxing time to get traumatized. That's true. So let's just do it. Oh, okay. This is another question I always get asked about. Sorry for anyone in here who doesn't care about this stuff. I'm gonna make it fast, but my eyebrows. I've been doing them myself since we moved to California 2.5 years ago. I always thought okay, let me find someone who I can trust to do my eyebrows. And then I just never did. And so I've just been doing them by myself with tweezers. But thank you guys. I get compliments on my eyebrows all the time. I'm well, thank you, I guess. So yes. Summary of last time. I missed it. Okay, yes, fair enough. For anyone else who wasn't here in the last stream, we are learning about the Turpin family case. Apparently, this family, I think, yes, they're in California, and this case is not that old. It's from a few years ago. They have been withholding their children in the house, never let them go out and do anything, deprived them of an education, food. They've been abusing them mentally and physically, and it's really so heartbreaking until one day, one of the girls escaped. She ran out of the window, and she called the cops. And that's how they finally got help. And their parents were arrested and have been sentenced. But it's just so sad. These kids have been deprived of life. And what made her finally get out, be able to escape, not being able to, but what made her like escape is because her younger siblings were chained up to the bed, and I guess that's what helped her to like finally one day just get out of there and call the cops, even though like she doesn't know anything about the outside world. When she was talking to the cops, she's like, this is like my first time communicating with someone, and it's just like it's so shocking that she was able to do that then. Just graduated nursing school and got engaged, and I'm so happy and I'm so super glad to catch your guys' streams now that I'm not studying all day every day. Oh my god, I know the feeling. Congratulations, Bridget, and thank you for being here. And yes, she didn't even know what medicine was. That is so crazy. He's like, are you on any medication? And she's like, what is that? It's really so sad. Oh yeah, someone said we have to look at Jordan's TikToks after this. I did after you guys mentioned that. We'll take a look after we finish the Turpin family story. But yes, Jordan is the one who escaped and got her siblings help. Not God, Choco. Thank you so much. Thank you for always making me smile. Well, thank you for being here and thank you for the subby. Okay, let's do it. Oh. I'm a first-time chatter after graduating physics at university, and I'm so glad I can relax and watch your stream. You guys, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you because I remember that feeling of like being in school and just feeling so overwhelmed all the time, and like literally that's all you can think about all day. When you're not studying, you're stressing about studying, and I'm happy for you guys. Yes, congrats to all the new grads. So this is where we left off.
Imagine. You can see it in the pictures. Chains use a cool to use.
Here we have Barbara Walters giving us a summary. That's her name, right? Barbara Walter? That's so crazy. I know another Barbara.
Do not
Barbara
have to
Walter.
imagine what hangs.
My comment was blocked because I said, make tomorrow your what? Everyone? Put it in like code word for us.
Can I say something though?
Yeah.
You haven't been having as many nightmares. Maybe this is toughening you out.
But, oh my god, that is so true, you guys. I really haven't.
Which is like probably the biggest problem you had in your life.
Yeah. Also, you look so cute, AB. Do you shove on your haircut? Doesn't he look so cute?
I don't feel like I look my age, but thank you.
Green tea, thank you for the gifted. Josh said air cannon equals no more nightmares.
Yeah, we're training you.
Well, thanks, guys.
You guys, I cannot wait to show you what I bought for my stream. It's going to take some engineering. We're going to need the Legend Luke on it, but this one's going to be big. This is the one I've been wanting to do. Why, like, initially, this is what I wanted from Luke, and they said it wasn't possible. I sound like Ethan now. But, yeah, it may take some time, but excited.
Nice, AB.
It might get us kicked out of our apartment, but
That's
Well,
fine. Oh my god.
that one shot me right in my asshole.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it shot me literally directly in my ass.
We like that. Yeah, well, oh my god, Angel Spice said just like you like it.
Funny.
Who was that? Hey, thank you, too. Womp 27. Thank you so much for the gifted. That says AB was assaulted. He prolapsed. AB having all the fun. Working in this industry, I'll just say it's incredibly hard to find good, honest people that are in it for the right reasons and continue in this work or caring for foster children. Yeah, that it's just so sad.
I thought you were talking about us at first, but look.
Love it. We're on the right track. You two are the best couple? Oh my gosh, thank you. Avery, thank you for clipping that. AB learned something about himself. Thank you for the clip. AB definitely got his salad tossed on that one. I'm so glad I know what you guys mean by that now. Let's see. Also, oh, Ayla, thank you so much for the subby. Let's check out one of these episodes Avery recommended. What would you do? Possible bike thief caught in the act. I'm curious to see what this is about.
Portland, Oregon calls
Sound effect. Also, yes, women supporting women. We do love to see that, so. That was funny. What simping will do to a man. Right, Avery? Someone in chat said I'd steal another bike for that woman. Let's all rob stuff together. Right? What was I going to check for? Sorry. Oh my god, wait a second. Sins of Our Mother? That's about the Lori Vallow? Because I see that everywhere, sort of. Just that show title. Oh my god. Any scenarios you can think of, the show probably has. There's no bad F's. That's so funny. Yeah, I'm sure they can go on forever with that. What would you do? Lena, you're seriously rocking those overalls. Thank you guys. Every time I wear these, I get so many compliments. So thank you, thank you. I'm looking to see if there's like a something that's not too long about this case. I'm sure like maybe JCS did something. I'm at Explore with Us does have one. Whoa, wait a second. This one's only 15 minutes. It says, the case of Lori Vallow. Documents reveal shocking details about missing children. Or true crime recaps. Do you think that's a better one than this? True crime recaps. Hmm. You gotta watch a comprehensive video. This case is impossible to cover in 15 minutes. Okay. I guess we could start one. Where would it even be? I think we watched Mary Kate and Ashley solve a crime before dinner time. Oh my god, I loved those Mary Kate and Ashley VHS tapes when I was younger. Like the Mary Kate and Ashley sleepover, the Mary Kate and Ashley like parties. Okay, a lot of you agree we need to do a deep dive into it. First class private eyes? What? Oh. Well, there is Lori Vallow Daybell guilty. Full episode. I guess we could try that. 48 hours. Let's do that. Oh my god, yes, brother, for sale, 99 cents. Oh my god. It's all coming back to me. Oh. Or the pizza. Can I get a pizza? P-A-Z-Z-A. Oh my god, you guys, I'm so glad you know that too. True, true. 40 hours can sometimes be super graphic. You know, that is true. So I don't know about that one actually. Oh, only 25 cents, not 99 cents. Or the I wanna go to a piñata party. Party hardy. Man, what a life they had. Like they were literally famous since babies. And insanely famous. I can't imagine growing up like that. I tried showing my friends that song and they had no idea what I was talking about. Yeah, I don't think I know anyone either who would know that. It's just like me and my siblings. Okay. When all else fails. Whoa, what is this? From a House of Horrors. Let's see this one. Frida, thank you so much for the gifted. Hi, sorry I've been streaming myself, but so glad to catch your stream. Miss you guys. Hope all is well. Oh my god, congrats. That's awesome. I hope it's going great for you. This is Explore With Us. Cops rescue children from House of Horrors. I thought the Turpin family was the House of Horrors one. But okay, let's do it. Looks like it's a rough beginning to start with.
Is that someone passed out on the ground right there? Where's your mommy? You want some more juice? Yeah, cockroaches running around in here.
I understand this. I've been dealing with it for the past week. I don't know what
Yeah, I turned it down for myself too. It's kind of like really loud.
am I supposed to do?
I don't know, maybe put up your drug
Is that better?
paraphernalia. Hold on.
Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
Ma'am, just calm down, okay?
On April 22nd,
I'm
2021,
so sorry, guys.
two Flagler County
How about the audio? It looks like it was way too loud. But it's fine now, right?
Police officers make their way to a home in Bunnell, Florida,
kind of
to
borderline.
investigate reports of a child screaming. However, they could have never predicted the absolute horror that awaited them, as they were soon faced with one of the most heartbreaking situations they've ever encountered. Not only that, but the case would go on to shock the entire community to its core. Authorities approach the house at 1:30 in the morning, where they are baffled to find a trash-ridden front yard. However, this is only a glimpse into the deplorable conditions of the home.
Is that someone passed out on the ground right there?
The officers are able to see two small children through the window. It appears that they've been locked in a room by themselves without any adult supervision. And if the circumstances weren't suspicious enough already, the nightmare waiting inside would prove to be all the more disturbing.
What's up, little buddy?
Oh my god, those screams
Where's
are
your
so
mommy?
like haunting. Yeah, I agree, Jenny. Hearing
Where's
a baby cry in distress is the worst sound.
Your mommy?
Agree.
You want something to drink? You want some more juice?
Police.
Sheriff's office.
Oh, are you guys looking for someone?
Yeah, you.
Me?
Yeah.
This is 26-year-old Christina Coe, who shares the home with her fiancé, 27-year-old Gilbert Bridewell, along with their 3 children.
Yeah, are you the mother of these children here?
Yeah, what's up?
They've been screaming and crying.
Yeah, they're playing. They have the windows open.
Yeah,
That's
also
what
she does not look 26.
They're not playing, ma'am.
Right, well, he looks like he needs some juice or something. He's showing me his cup.
Yeah, I was just about to go get them.
Okay, well, we're getting complaints that they feel like there's children in distress over here.
Yeah, they're very loud and they scream a lot.
Yeah, it's called a kid.
Yeah,
How old are they?
it's almost 2 and 3. They're very, very.
Is anybody supervising them?
Yeah, I was just in there.
Despite what Christina claims, the 3 children are actually 2 years old, 1-year-old, and the
Whoa.
youngest is only 7 days old.
Like, I was just in there getting them stuff.
7 days!
But I have my other daughter in the
So there's like 10,000 choking hazards in there that they're locked in that room and nobody's in there supervising them. As they're screaming for the whole neighborhood to call us. And this apparently has not been the first time from all your neighbors calling in, saying that they hear this multiple times throughout the week. Do you have an ID with you? Can we go get it?
Hold on. Let me check your car first. I know my keys are in the car.
You look like you've been asleep.
No. I actually haven't. Barely sleeping days. I've been in the hospital.
She just had a baby.
Are you the only one here?
I wasn't supposed to be alone with the kids right now after my surgery.
You guys think that she's on meth?
Are they both your children?
Yes.
Christina was released from the hospital only a couple days prior, following the birth of her newborn baby.
When was the last time you even changed their diapers? As it's sagging there, probably full.
They had a ton of juice, and it was probably an hour and a half ago that I changed their diapers.
Does this seem to be a safe environment for your children?
Yeah, it is completely safe. It's just, they're very, very loud and vocal. And since both of the windows are opened,
This is a safe environment, huh?
we're still cleaning it out. Their uncles and aunt just left, and they trashed the place. So,
I'm not enthused so far, to be honest with you.
neither am I.
Christina states that Gilbert's brother and his wife, along with their own son, had also been living in the house before recently moving out.
Well, it looks like, I mean, by the way it looks outside, it looks like, I mean, this took a while to build up this. Is that their room?
That's their room. That's their play area.
Do they have beds to sleep on?
Yeah, they have cots in there. They fold them up when
Right.
they play.
Do they have bedding? I see cots. I don't even see bedding.
That's what the cots are. That is their bedding. I've already.
They have sheets, pillows, blankets.
Oh my god, the cots are their bedding.
They have pillows, they have blankets in there. I go in and I clean it every single day. And they take all of the toys out of the toys bin and they do that.
When was the last time you had a drink?
10 minutes ago?
However, when police arrived, the child had been holding his cup in the air while incessantly screaming, perhaps indicating that a long period of time may have passed. With this in mind, the officers are a little skeptical of the mother's claim.
What do you have that's holding that screen in besides tape?
Go ahead. Just the tape.
US 1000 coming up for
Like, why have kids if this is how you're gonna treat them?
Get out.
No, 28. Why wouldn't you be looks like a silver on it?
Because there's no air. There's no air circulation in that room and it gets really hot.
So when he pushes that screen out and comes into this, then what?
Or if he just gets out and runs around in the neighborhood.
Our grandmother is literally right next door.
You think your grandmother's looking out for your 3-year-old, 5-year-old running around at 11 p.m.?
No. I'm sorry.
Can I see the inside of your house, please?
Finally, the officers request to see the inside of the home. However, they aren't prepared for what was just beyond the door.
We're still cleaning. Like, that's the thing. We've had DCF and we're still cleaning.
What's your DCF case for?
Like, I just got home from the hospital. Like, I don't even know why you're being mad.
We got some first-time chatters. How did I not know about Lena's channel? Welcome. What happened? This mother has 3 little kids. The youngest is only 7 days old, and she's super abusive.
I can tell you, looking at that diaper, it hasn't been 10 minutes. I don't even have kids. I don't need to have kids to know that. That's not urine. Do you see that? That brown?
Oh my god.
Yeah. You see all that? That's not urine. And it's full of what looks like sand. You got cockroaches running around in here.
I understand this. I've been dealing with it for the past
Oh my god, imagine.
What else am I supposed to do?
I don't know, maybe put up your drug paraphernalia? I'm not enthused.
The cockroaches would turn out to be just one of the many sickening discoveries throughout the home, and the officers can barely stomach the horrendous conditions that the children have been forced to endure.
Is that your vehicle out there?
Yes.
So the drug paraphernalia in there is not yours either?
What drug paraphernalia?
I believe my partner said he observed it in the passenger compartment of your vehicle while you guys were out there.
Christina doesn't respond, most likely due to her knowledge of the unidentified substance. Next, she makes a phone call to her fiancé.
Hey, the cops are here. For what? I don't know. Here, you talk to him.
Yeah, Gilbert, what's the excuse?
You want to talk to my fiancé?
Yeah, this is Deputy Gomez. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
We're getting complaints about the children because they're screaming and it looks like they're being unattended.
My wife's been there with them all day.
Right, but here she was sleeping and they're locked in a bedroom.
I was in my room breastfeeding my other daughter.
We just had concerned citizens that we don't know if the kids are on the inside, the outside, if they're in...
Got bugs crawling around in their room. It looks like there's feces all over the wall.
We've been trying to deal with it. His brother, who lived here, trashed the whole entire place, and we've been dealing with cleaning it.
The brother put the feces and stuff on the wall?
That's from his son. We've been in there trying to scrub it off the walls.
There's feces
Soon,
on the
Gilbert
wall.
will have the opportunity to speak with the police face to face. For now, the officers question Christina regarding the Department of Children and Families, or DCF, case. She states that their current case has been open for a couple of days, and an employee had recently made a visit to the home. Supposedly, the caseworker told Christina that everything looked okay, but the residence was still in need of cleaning. She claims that she doesn't know how the case was first opened.
Do you have food for them?
Yes.
Can I see that, please?
21.
Freezer their cookies.
Do you have child care products, diapers, etc.?
Yes. All of our child stuff right here. We have it organized in bins. Like, well, these are locked so they cannot get them in.
I'm not worried about the mice. The biggest concern I have is the cockroach infestation.
I know. It's been like that for years. And we've been it's been a lot worse. This whole entire place used to be trash. You couldn't even get into the living room. That's how bad it was.
Get it, you're an adult and you choose to do whatever, but I mean, there's...
That's my fiance.
Okay, and there's another pipe over here too, and that's like an access, so the children have access to that. You got rolling papers over here.
Yeah, that's his stuff.
This is not an acceptable environment.
I'm trying.
I know, I'm not saying you're not trying. I don't know what it was before. All right? I know what it is now.
I know.
So I don't know how much progress you've made.
I've made a ton of progress this whole
Okay,
time.
so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go outside and talk. While we're out there, if you please change our diapers.
Christina's fiance, Gilbert, has made his way home from work. He undoubtedly was not expecting a visit from police.
Do you live here?
Yes, sir. I am the father.
You been working on that or what?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been living here?
I've been in here roughly 2-3 years.
2-3 years? All right.
She's been living here with you for 2 or 3 years? Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought she said just a few months. Huh.
It was on and off because my uncle had originally thrown her out, which I had to move out with her, and we moved back.
Chad said he's definitely a meth head too. Bunch of druggies. It definitely shows more on him than it did on her.
Everything kind of cleared up.
Well, the reason we're here is the other children were locked in that other room. There's just a screen, duct tape in there. Neighbors heard them screaming. It seemed to us that she was sleeping. Took several minutes to answer the door. So in case of emergency, she would have never known.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you have a child camera in there.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Does that camera record?
It does not. It only shows, what's going on at the time.
So if I walked up to that window where they're sitting out there talking to complete strangers that they don't really recognize as law enforcement, you pull that screen off and take that kid through that window, how are you going to know?
I'd see it.
You'd see it while you're at work?
Not while I'm at work, but while she's here.
Well, she's here sleeping.
I have no way to connect to it because we don't have internet. If I had internet.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mother and father are well aware that they have put their children in danger, yet they only seem to care when they're faced with the consequences.
There's 10,000 choking hazards in that room. While she's passed out, they could stick a car in their mouth. You know how kids are, they stick everything in their mouth, swallow it, choke out on the floor while she's sleeping. He's banging on the door. That obviously is not enough to wake her up. And she glances over at the camera, sees her on the ground, thinking, oh, she's sleeping. Next thing you know, your kid's dead.
Yeah.
You see where we're getting at?
Yes, sir.
Because right now I have enough to take you all to jail.
Yes, sir.
For felonies.
I completely understand.
Yeah, that's all he can say.
Okay.
They're going to inspect what we've seen, and we're going to figure out a plan from there. What we're getting at is this is an unacceptable environment, and it's neglectful to your children. And we don't know if you're going to be charged at this time. How come there's just piles of trash?
That we sit it out front, but lately the cats and raccoons didn't get to it, and that's what happens out here.
Hold on, partner. I live with raccoons too. They don't do that and that.
Oh my God, yeah,
and that,
no.
And that. That's not a raccoon. That might be a bear. That's not a raccoon.
Gilbert states that he's been using roach and flea spray throughout the home, although his attempts to exterminate the infestation are apparently unsuccessful. Next, 2 additional officers arrive, where they appeared just as shocked. Not only that, but they find additional cockroaches hiding in the one place you would least want them to be.
You got cockroaches inside your refrigerator.
Oh no!
I know it's a mess.
You're gonna have to get help though sometimes because
I know, but no one wants to help.
I understand, but you're bringing lives into this world when you can't take care of the ones that you have right now. You know what I mean?
Like we can take care of them. It's just we're trying to take care of them.
I know, but if you were in their shoes, I don't know how your childhood was. Like, would you want roaches crawling all over you at nighttime? You wouldn't want roaches crawling all over you.
Like, literally, imagine how many roaches there has to be for the cop to notice it. Right when he steps inside. There has to be so many, and they just like, oh my god, I would cry. That's literally torture.
You and all that kind of stuff, right? Picture this, right? You got a passy right there, and you got like the roaches. If the roach leaves like a crap or something on it, and then the baby puts it in his mouth, that baby has no immune system. Like the baby could probably die from it. You know that, right?
We completely understand.
Soon, a DCF caseworker arrives, where he informs the parents that their children are going to be removed from the home. It's then decided that they will be placed in the custody of their aunt. Gilbert assists in installing the car seats in the vehicle. However, Christina breaks down in a hysterical fit as her children are placed in the car.
Hold on.
Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
Ma'am, calm down, okay? Stay out here. So, based on our findings tonight, okay, we do have probable cause to make the arrest on both of you. Okay?
Please tell me they do.
It's just not fair what is happening with these kids. All right, so both of y'all are going to be going to jail tonight for child neglect. Okay, DCF has obviously custody of the kids, and they're going to be staying with your sister, cousin. Is that what it is? Hopefully you guys are able to get out tomorrow. You can get back to your baby.
Yeah, that's what. We have no money. I have no family.
I understand, but we have probable cause to make the arrest.
Yeah, okay? we don't tolerate this. All right, the conditions they're in is unsafe for them in general. Completely unsatisfactory.
The couple are officially placed under arrest, but Christina refuses to make it easy.
I know you're upset about your kids, but you hitting your head against that glass is not going to do anything. You have 3 little ones that care about you, that are waiting for you.
Yeah.
So let's just get this over with. Okay, we're going to go get you cleared at the hospital. If you don't want to get any treatment or anything, you'll just have to tell them that.
I don't want to go to the hospital.
Okay, but we have...
There, you just tell them you don't want to see them, and they'll just fill out a piece of paper, and we leave. But according to our policy, because you just had
I'll fill it out now. I don't want to go there at all. I hate Advent.
All right.
They treat me like...
Okay, perfectly fine. It's not your decision, it's ours, okay? Our policy states you're going to have to go. If you sign out AMA, that's not a problem. You don't have to get out of the car. That's not a problem, okay? At the end of the day, this is what is happening. I'm very sorry if you don't want to tell you that, but there's no decision here. There's no choice to be made. This is what's happening. Please do not hit your head against my partition. All it's going to do is hurt and damage my car. Okay?
I don't care if it hurts.
Do you have any questions, comments?
You guys think she's crying because there's no drugs in jail.
At this point in time?
No.
Great. Close the door. Let's go.
Christina and Gilbert were charged with 3 counts of felony child neglect without great bodily harm. The charges were eventually reduced to a single misdemeanor of contributing to the delinquency of a child.
Oh my god. How the heck do you reduce charges on something like that? On anything that involves children?
However, this wouldn't be their last interaction with police. In January of...
God, like, it's such a sensitive time for kids in their lives. Like, they're still developing, and what they're doing is going to impact their whole lives. The kids' lives. This is so awful. I know, reduced charges. Like, who does that?
2023, Gilbert was arrested on felony charges of aggravated assault and cocaine possession.
You guys were right, he's a druggie.
The first charge was eventually dropped, but the second is still pending in court. A couple of months later, Christina was reported missing by her fiancé, but was discovered alive and safe only 5 days later by Ormond Beach police. At the time of this video, the current welfare of the children has not been reported.
Wow.
When 2 teenagers were found brutally murdered behind a Publix, the community of Roswell, Georgia was shaken to its core.
I just drove around the...
This is a new one, but like, what a crazy start. What the hell? Not the Publix. Oh, whoops. There might be a good one for next time. What is this? Oh my god, now I keep getting recommended videos about abused children. This one's only a few minutes though, and it says The Girl in the Wall, the disturbing case of Katie Beers. What? I'm sure you guys have heard of this. Let's see what it's about. You should open a new account on True Crime and you can sub to AB on it. Good thinking, Jenny. Eyes on the prize. The FBI agent assigned to track Lena. They're like, what the hell is this girl up to?
Well, my story is...
In 1982, on the 30th of December, right between Christmas and New Year's Eve, a little girl named Katie Beers was born in the town of Mastic Beach, Long Island. But to people familiar with this case, she's ended up being known as the Girl in the Wall.
Tell me something. She threw me on the bed. I just want my daughter back. Please bring her back. And then I was screaming my brains out.
I heard her say a man was coming after her with a knife, and she said, oh my God, here he comes.
He started kissing me.
Our biggest concern is that we find this child, well and safe.
My hand hit a nail.
The last time I seen her was when she was walking towards the machine. I started getting scared.
Then he locks me in that little cubby hole.
Kidnapped, assaulted.
How is there so much evil shit that goes on in the world?
Trapped and chained up, 9-year-old Katie Beers was abandoned by her mom, then used as a slave by her godmother and her sexually deviant husband, before eventually getting kidnapped and trapped in an underground dungeon. For over 3 weeks, the Long Island police dug deep into this menagerie of characters, each more suspicious than the next, in hopes of getting their hands on the captive 9-year-old.
She's behind the wall. If she's behind the wall, she's not alive.
But to their surprise, she was already at it. She knew how to save herself.
She tried every strategy she could to make him change his mind and ultimately prevailed. This little girl at 10 years old changed a kidnapper's mind.
In the small hamlet of Bayshore, Long Island, busy little girl Katie is living a Cinderella-like existence. Since her mother abandoned her, she has been enslaved.
Hey, Cubby Fresh, no, this is not. We finished the Turpin story. We're on to another child abuse case, and then this came up as recommended.
By her godmother, Linda, and her husband, Sal.
I was their servant, whether it was to do the laundry, to clean the bathrooms, to cook dinner. That was my purpose to her growing up.
I was pretty much her slave.
But her service to Linda was the least of her concern, since the real monster in that house was none other than her own uncle.
From the time that I was 2 years old, I was sexually abused by my godmother's husband.
When she was 7 years old, Katie had enough, and she tried to tell her godmother the truth about her husband, but her reaction only made it worse.
She told me that I was a liar and to get out of her face.
Katie wasn't allowed to attend school and grew up completely isolated. The only friend she had was John Esposito, the typical family friend, but to her, their relationship was special.
I really didn't have any friends my own age. I think in my childhood, the thing that probably made me the happiest was when I got to spend time with John.
I would say I loved him. He was always a confidant, somebody that I would trust.
Amid all of the abuse she already had to go through, Katie's life was about to take a turn for the worse.
2 days before my 10th birthday, I was abducted.
On that day,
oh my god, poor girl. She's already been through so much at this point.
He was left with John, and together they went to Spaceplex, her favorite place in all of Long Island.
At Spaceplex, you can ride motorcycles, shoot baskets, or even ride a dinosaur.
For my 10th birthday, it was going to be just Big John and I.
John was nicknamed Big John by the local kids because he was a well-known member of the Big Brother Big Sister program.
Whenever we would go to Spaceplex, I was happy. There was never really a care. There were kids running all over the place.
But her birthday would soon turn sour, as the worst thing that could ever happen to a child came to be.
It was a man kidnapped me and he had a knife. Oh no, here he comes. I gotta go.
Oh my god, that was so awful.
That voice, calling out Katie's name, is Linda, her godmother. But while she was contacting the police, they were already on the scene with Big John at Spaceplex. They evacuated the site and searched for the rest of the day, but all of these efforts were in vain.
He picked me up and carried me into the closet where I realized he was opening up a door to expose a tunnel.
Whoever got
Like, how did? Oh my god, this is literally like Barbarian. I don't know who's seen the movie. This is literally Barbarian.
hands on her was an extremely apt individual. That tunnel was set up behind the walls of his house and carefully crafted by an expert. Katie was forced to crawl until she reached a trap door.
And then he exposes this hole and he opens up this door into this room. The only word that I have to describe this room was a dungeon, a place that I couldn't escape.
Inside, Katie saw a dirty mattress in a makeshift, soundproof casket surrounded by chains.
My captor looked at me and said, "This is your home now."
Oh my god, do you guys think this is the story it's based on?
I heard her say a man was coming after her with a knife, and she said, oh my God, here he comes. So by the time I picked up the phone to talk to her, I got nothing.
This is all of what the godmother Linda had to say about the ominous call she received on the day of the abduction. This was enough to concern Dominic Verone, the head of the Long Island Police Kidnapping Division.
By the time she gets to the machine, Katie had already hung up. That disturbed me because
Good night, Ace of 13.
there's been a lot of times when these abductions are not really abductions. They're made to look like abductions.
And statistically, he was right,
You saw this young girl around?
as over 95% of kidnappings are actually perpetrated by close family members. But this wasn't the only unusual thing about that call.
It just struck me as not believable.
Oh shit.
To talk to her, I got nothing.
This is all of what the godmother Linda had to say about the ominous call she received on the day of the abduction. This was enough to concern Dominic Verone, the head of the Long Island Police Kidnapping Division.
By the time she gets to the machine, Katie had already hung up. That disturbed me because there's been a lot of times when these abductions are not really abductions. They're made to look like abductions.
And statistically, he was right,
You saw this young girl around?
as over 95% of kidnappings are actually perpetrated by close family members. But this wasn't the only unusual thing about that call.
It just struck me as not believable. And I immediately was disturbed by the fact that a 9-year-old child would use the word kidnap. Also, how does a 9-year-old child get away from an abductor and able to use the telephone?
But he had to put his suspicions
That's what
on
I'm
the side
snacking
for-
on. But yeah, that's true. How is she able to make phone calls? There's so many twists and turns in these cases.
Now, the priority was Katie, as every minute counted in that kind of case. They needed to find her, and fast.
As much as I was concerned about some of the problems...
Or
with
the phone
call,
number too, you're
you
right.
did hear a girl in distress. This girl was in danger.
There was absolutely no trace of Katie at Spaceplex, almost as if she was never there. The only clue they had was the recording of Katie's distressed call to Linda, so Verone decided to bring out the big guns.
We
The
sent the audio
FBI.
tape of that telephone call, as well as the...
Mom said I wouldn't even expect a 9-year-old to know their phone number like that. That's what I'm thinking too. So my niece is 10. Well, no, she would now at this point. But like at 8 or 9, I'm comparing it to like my nieces, and they don't know their parents' phone numbers.
device that it was recorded on, to the FBI.
While he was waiting for the FBI, Verone continued his investigation. Naturally, he started by looking into the most likely suspects.
The main players were Marilyn Beers, the natural mother, a dysfunctional, incompetent mother, Linda Engelary, the godmother.
My main concern is to let people know how much I cared for her.
She was used by the godmother to run all kinds of errands. Sal
My
Engelary
poor
had
girl.
been charged with sexual abuse on Katie Beers.
The little girl don't want to live in Massachusetts
But yeah, that's a lot of you are saying you were taught to memorize your phone number. That's really smart.
with her mother.
But there was also a fourth suspect outside of the family, the last man to see her before the abduction.
John Esposito, not a relative, but a family friend. He said something dirty happened.
The FBI
Wait, is he a suspect too? John, the one she confided in?
eventually shared what they found with him. It seemed that Katie's call was made from a phone booth in front of Spaceplex, which is weird since they still had found no trace of her inside of the recreation center, and she apparently tried to call Linda 19 times before she decided to leave a message on her answering machine. But all of these clues were nothing compared to the result of the audio analysis the FBI carried out on the call.
I never forget the call I got from the scientist at the FBI lab who gave me the next bit of breaking news. It wasn't actually Katie who broke free and made that call. It was a recording. It was someone who tape recorded Katie and wanted us to believe, or it to seem, that the call came from that telephone booth next to Spaceplex.
The detective was starting to put the pieces together.
This video is only 22 minutes. How is it only 22 minutes? I feel like there's so much to uncover.
And it became evident that the culprit fooled them all. The kidnapping of Katie has been used as a front to something far more sinister.
The phone call was a scripted plot by an individual to make us think that Katie Beers was abducted.
Back at the dungeon, Katie knew what was going to happen and decided to fight as hard as she could. She noticed the door of the casket was loose and went at it.
Eventually I had kicked it long enough and hard enough that snapped, and I was able to kind of safely exit.
To her, this was such a breakthrough. She thought she may finally be able to find a way to escape, almost forgetting that the casket was, itself, inside of the dungeon.
Then I had nowhere to go. I remember trying to go on the
so
shelf and see if
awful.
there was anything there that I could use for some sort of self-defense. And there were a bunch of keys up there. So unknowingly, I grabbed one of those keys and hid it underneath the mattress.
Before she had the chance to try to come up with a way to confront him, she heard him coming. It was too late now, as the footsteps started to get louder and louder.
As soon as he came down, he saw the door open, and he then raped me for the first time.
For the rest of her time in captivity, her abductor would assault her multiple times, every day, but out of respect for Katie, we won't be covering any of her subsequent assaults.
I was able to have the TV on 24/7. It was on the news that I saw that the police had figured out where the call had come from. They knew that it was pre-recorded.
This information led the police to put together a few theories regarding Katie's whereabouts.
There were still questions we had.
Meanwhile, Katie was able to hear each of her family members' testimonies by watching the news, starting with Marilyn, her biological mother.
Just my daughter back.
When I saw Marilyn on the news, I think I cried a lot because I could see in her eyes that she had missed me and that she wanted me to be found. That gave me some relief and some hope.
Her mother was convinced that Linda and Sal were behind the kidnapping because they lost her custody after she filed charges against Sal for Katie's sexual abuse.
Our biggest concern is that we find this child, well and safe.
When Sal, my godmother's husband, was on the news saying that he wanted me to be found, I was angry.
If anyone had motive for her to be abducted or murdered, it was he who faced serious criminal charges for sexual abuse.
But Verone wasn't so quick to jump to conclusions, as he also had good reasons to believe that not only Marilyn could be the culprit, but that she may also have tried to frame someone else for her alleged crime.
Her mother, Marilyn Beers, and little John, Katie's brother, became aware of what was going on with Katie, and there was ample motive that they may set up an abduction just to get her away from a bad situation. They'd be able to walk her out, have Katie make the phone call, tape record it, put it right there, and leave John Esposito holding the bags.
After a while, the investigation into the family members wore down. Each and every one of them had solid alibis, and no clues were discovered at any of their residences, so the police started to look into the last man on the list, the most unlikely suspect.
The investigators retraced John Esposito's footsteps, but it was 30 minutes to an hour that we couldn't fully explain and appreciate. We obtained a search warrant and did a full inspection of John Esposito's residence, but there was no evidence of a crime.
The background check came in the next day and turned out to be extremely suspicious. Once they contacted the Big Brother Big Sisters Association, the
Big John is gonna come through.
program the suspect proudly claimed to be a member of, they learned the dark truth about Big John.
John Esposito painted himself as a big brother. Detectives discovered
He
that
wasn't?
tried to join that organization, and they did a background investigation on him. We learned that he had been involved in the abduction of a 7-year-old child 15 years prior to Katie's disappearance, and they ruled him out as being a big brother. We were ramping up the pressure on him, following him wherever he went.
This caught the attention of the media, who also started to scour around his house.
Police searched Esposito's property, the main house and the converted garage out back where he actually lived.
I knew that the #1 suspect was Esposito. I could see the news was camped out in front of his house.
And if you haven't guessed yet, the kidnapper was, in fact, John Esposito, aka Big John. All along, the man Katie called her best friend was actually planning and scheming until the day he finally kidnapped her.
Big John was probably the last person that I could have imagined having ever hurt me in such a way.
Katie was relieved that the police finally got on the right track, but at this point, Verone doesn't have anything to incriminate Esposito. And even worse, he still had no idea what he did with Katie.
As each day went by, they were becoming more convinced that what we were going to find was not live Katie Beers, but a body of Katie Beers.
A few days later, Katie woke up in the dungeon.
Esposito had put a chain around my neck. I had realized that the key that I had grabbed was actually
I know, the one person she trusted. It's so awful.
The padlock. So I was able to at least release myself. Prior to unattaching it, I would count how many links were on the end of it and up to the wall as well.
When she would hear Esposito coming, she would quickly chain herself up again in the exact same way he did. But this tended to happen less and less, since the police, convinced that he was behind her disappearance, almost never left him alone. Instead, they kept an extremely tight surveillance schedule around him and his house, and Verone even went inside to interrogate him.
And I could see it drain out of his face, the concern. I was very disturbed and very concerned that John Esposito had something to do with her abduction.
Out of options, Esposito started making desperate requests to Katie, but the little girl knew better.
Let's make police believe that you're dead. Play dead, I'll take a picture of you. Once police see that, they'll give up on you. And Katie, the bright little girl, wise little girl that she was, knew that that could be her death sentence. And she refused to play dead and let him take a picture of her.
From that point on, I rarely slept, and I also did not eat any of the food that he could have altered because I was fearful that he might put something in the food, a sedative, a sleeping pill, something, so that way he was able to
she's
get
so
the
smart for
photo
her age.
that he wanted, so the police would stop looking for me.
After this, Katie decided to confront him, to barrage him with questions in hopes of making him realize the insanity behind his actions.
How I was going to go to school, what I was going to do to survive. I wanted to get married and have kids. And he would always have witty remarks right away, like, oh, you'll have kids with me, you'll marry me, you'll do this with me. So I would always tell him, no, I don't want to do that.
I was disgusted. I was 10 years old. I was trying to get him to think about the long term of him kidnapping me.
Esposito began to crack between the overwhelming police presence, Verone constantly tailing him, and Katie's incessant nagging and questioning. He confided to her that he was planning to either end his life or run away. She knew that if she let it happen, he would probably kill her or leave her to die in the dungeon.
I told him that I was sick and I wasn't feeling well. I think between the police department laying on him at his house all the time and my questions, and then me saying that I wasn't feeling well, finally wore him down.
So all of this pressure is mounting. He finally speaks to his attorney. He says, I have something very important to tell you. And he tells him, I know where Katie is. And the attorney says, what do you mean? He says, she's behind the wall.
And this is where Verone and everybody else involved in the case understood that John Esposito wasn't your usual kidnapper, but an actual mastermind.
Esposito escorted police and the district attorney through all the steps of unearthing the dungeon, and police watched incredulously as he went through this 30-plus step process of revealing the dungeon that he had built.
There was a bookshelf with wheels on it, and you'd have to pull that out. And then there was vinyl laid on the floor, and you pulled the vinyl back. And then there is a 200-pound concrete block that's there. And you had to know to go into the garage and get this block and tackle, to hook it in the ceiling, to hook it into the 200-pound block, and then raise this block up. And then you drop down about 7 foot into this underground chamber. And then there's a passageway. And as you crawl, you dropped into this underground chamber where Katie was kept.
Apparently, this whole affair had been in preparation for years before he took her.
I had realized that I had actually played in this underground dungeon while it was being built. So he had this vision to build this underground dungeon. And when he had this vision, it was specifically to kidnap me.
When Verone finally broke in, Katie couldn't believe what was happening to her.
The door opened and there was a man that I didn't recognize.
And I remember them saying, "We're the police, you're safe now."
I was just overjoyed. She was alive.
You all right, Katie?
Verone was similarly surprised, but for a different reason.
We were amazed. You see a 9-year-old look like she just come back from a trip to the movies. She's sitting in the sofa, bubbly, upbeat, and we just knew from that moment on that she was going to be a survivor.
Now in the hands of the police, Katie finally revealed the truth about what happened.
And you were supposed to do the safe but never did.
John Esposito had confessed to everything. Esposito was convicted of kidnapping in the first degree, and he was sentenced to 15 years to life.
Not only did the detective save her from Esposito, but throughout his investigation, Verone uncovered all of the abuse she had suffered at the hands of the people who were supposed to take care of her, and decided to place her into foster.
Oh my God. This girl has been abused by all the adults, either abused or neglected by all the adults in her life. Oh my God.
I entered foster care as soon as I was released from captivity, and that was a salvation for me. I had a mom, I had a dad, I had brothers and sisters. It was absolutely fantastic.
They also continued the legal procedure against her Uncle Sal and successfully put him behind bars. To this day, Katie will always be grateful towards Verone, as he saved her in more ways than one.
For 17 days, I was his life. He was one of the ones that just did not give up, and I'm grateful of the relationship that I have with him.
I wrote a letter to Katie after the whole thing was over. Dear Catherine, I don't know you very well, but what I do know is enough to show you as a remarkable young girl with a strong determination to live. My only wish is that we could have found you sooner and you didn't have to be down there so long. Not many adults could endure or survive what you went through. Be proud and continue to be strong. I know you will be successful.
In the end, she was a true survivor, refusing to let her past bring her down. Instead, she achieved everything she ever hoped for.
My life is exactly what I had always wanted. 2 parents who love me, and a husband and 2 kids, and a wonderful family. I'm tearing up.
He tried to trap and use her, but she liberated herself. Today, she is a best-selling author and works with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
I think the best part of my story is knowing that you can recover and you can persevere, and your life is 100% what you make it to be.
She wants every survivor of any kind of abuse to know that they are more than what happened to them.
I was determined to not let my childhood traumas come into my adulthood. They've shaped me to who I am, but they don't define me.
Sal was sentenced 4 to 12 years in prison for molesting Katie Beers. This piece of shit. Oh my god. He died in prison that very same day? They shanked him? Or yeah, or that, I don't know. Well, they don't last long in there, Lena. So, oh my god. Well, at least it ends on a positive note. She survived and she's able to not only move on in life, but to prosper. So that makes me happy. Guys, Abby is actually streaming on YouTube right now, so I can't raid him, but you know how it works. If you'd like to head over there, I will see you guys on that side. So, yes, Sad Boy said, let's go. Avery said, hold on, Lena. What's his YouTube called? It's just Star Killer. Can we link it here? Ah, yep, there. Avery coming in clutch. Okay, guys, I will see you there. And oh, once you go there, say hear from Lena. Hear from, or just hear from Twitch, or maybe one's in the chat, whatever you want. But I will see you guys there. I love you guys. Okay, bye. Love you guys too. Oh, and also make sure to survive. Make sure to subscribe because we are trying to get to 100K to get that silver play button. Okay, bye.